Hey, how you doing? This is a Talking Dude. Thank you very much for watching. I thought I'd do a quick video on this whole general election situation. In case you've been living under a rock, the UK has just had a second general election in 2 years, and it's gone awfully wrong for the Conservative Party. And I just wanted to really make a few real quick comments. I'm not going to go on and on and on. Basically, the Conservatives ran a horrendous campaign, devoid of vision, devoid of what's the word? Devoid of ambitious ideas, devoid of clear policy statements. You know, it was a terrible manifesto, and the details that were contained in the manifesto were details which basically, a lot of them attacked the Conservatives' core voters, pensioners, this whole dementia tax, getting rid of the triple lock, you know, means testing the fuel allowance and getting rid of bus passes. It basically looked like they were attacking elderly people, pensioners, and that was where it all went horribly wrong. That was where the polls absolutely started to tank for the Conservative Party. They flip-flopped, and Theresa May U-turned on that and said it wasn't a U-turn, even, you know, terrible lack of vision, terrible lack of the manifesto was awful. Compare that to the Labour Party manifesto. As much as it was a, you know, left-wing pipe dream, in my opinion, that would bankrupt the country, it was clear, it was visionary, it was setting out a very clear and very bold statement about where they want the country to go, as far as the state basically becoming more and more dominant in society. Obviously, they disguised it as, you know, everybody getting free stuff, but that's basically what they were, you know, what the vision was. And it's a clear vision, and it's a valid, legitimate vision that people bought and people lapped up and loved. Jeremy Corbyn beforehand was seen as a laughing stock and as toxic. He has absolutely put all of those criticisms to bed. The sort of Tory supporting newspapers tried so hard to go on about his IRA links and his failure to, you know, to say that he wanted to press the nuclear button, he would press the nuclear button and all these kinds of things. People didn't buy it. People weren't going for this whole, you know, negative campaigning from Theresa May. You know, at one stage Theresa May mentioned Diane Abbott in one of her, you know, her speeches or whatever that she was making, and, you know, it got a laugh, it got a chuckle, but that's not what people want. You know, it's funny, yeah, it's funny, haha, Diane Abbott, you know, she gets her maths wrong, ha, she seemed a bit ill the other day. Actually, I think that the abuse that she's been getting is actually ridiculous, outrageous, and a lot of it is racist abuse. I see it in comments on videos, the things that she's being called, you know, and that's not good. But people looked at all of that and just thought, do you know what do you stand for, Theresa May? What do you actually stand for? And they looked at the policies and just thought, all you're doing is taking shit away from people, actually. You know, and it wasn't, at the same time she was like criticizing the libertarians and saying, no, we're not Thatcherites, and no, you know, we're about government playing a role in people's lives and this, that and the other. It was it was an awful campaign. Theresa May herself, oh, she's lovely in giving speeches, oh, she's great, oh, she gives a speech, it's very nice. Ask her a question, she freezes up, she's awkward, she seems like she doesn't really want to be talking one-to-one with people. She ducked all of the debates, whereas Jeremy Corbyn went into those debates, and because Corbyn's been spending the last 30 years of his life, you know, speaking at rallies and debates and all these kinds of things, he was ready and he lapped it all up. He galvanized the youth vote. I believe the youth vote apparently was something like 70%, which is unheard of, you know, and the youth are now a real you know, a real group, a real constituency in British politics. They've learned the hard way from, you know, from previous elections that actually you need to get out and you need to vote. The Labour Party did a real good job of you know, of connecting with them. The only thing with the Labour Party though is that, bearing in mind how weak this Conservative campaign was, how weak Theresa May was. Another thing with Theresa May is that she didn't even bring Brexit to front and centre, you know, that was supposed to be a trump card. Regardless of how, even though they were so weak, the Labour Party has failed to, you know, to match their seat share. Their vote share was almost the same, but the seat share is way below. And this is a problem, because I don't think that the Conservatives are going to make the same mistake again. Whenever the next election happens, that might happen in October this year, or it might happen in whenever, a couple of 2-3 years, whatever. They will not make the same mistake again. They will have a proper manifesto that's not just created by Theresa May and her cronies, her 2 or 3 cronies. They'll have a proper manifesto. They'll get someone to front the campaign. They won't have Theresa May. Absolutely not. People don't like Theresa May. That's clear. They will get someone who is clear, who is presentable, who is human, basically, and also someone who comes across as though like they really do believe in what they're talking about. And yeah, I think Labour has missed a trick here. Now Jeremy Corbyn is going to come under increasing scrutiny with regard to, you know, him being a serious statesman. You know, it's all well being in opposition and being a protester, but now people are going to be like, actually, can we see you being someone who will lead this country? The Brexit is the big elephant in the room. Basically, Theresa May thought that she would win the election because all of the UKIP voters would go over to Brexit. To the Conservatives, but it didn't turn out that way. What she forgot, and what I forgot, what a lot of us weren't seeing, was that actually a lot of the people who went to UKIP, who had been previously Labour voters, left Labour, not because they didn't agree with Labour's kind of old Labour policies of nationalisation and government spending and welfare state and NHS and all these kinds of things. They want all that stuff, but they just want it for British people. You know, not for the international, you know, not for the world kind of thing. And they looked at the Labour Party manifesto and just thought, actually, yeah, this is good. The other critical thing, which I think Jeremy Corbyn deserves a huge amount of respect for and praise for, is the fact that he made his party vote for Article 50. And he's a Eurosceptic himself. He doesn't really like the European Union, and I think he's played it really well. We're all talking about how Labour's, you know, voters are split between those who are real hardcore Remainers and real hardcore Leavers, but actually he's played it superbly well. He's played a blinder in making it clear, yes, we're leaving the European Union, but he wants to make sure that we have access to the single market, and he wants to, you know, he wants to have a Brexit that's based on jobs and job security and all these kinds of things, rather than the government's alleged one of low tax haven and so on. So excellent campaign from Jeremy Corbyn. I do not agree with his policies though, and I want to finish up by saying this. Those of us who are on the libertarian right, the classical liberal kind of side of things, we have nowhere to go right about now. The Conservatives is the closest to what we actually have for a party that's likely to actually win anything, but I don't know, maybe UKIP. I mean, UKIP has dwindled now. UKIP is you know, Paul Nuttall's resigned. Maybe we need, if UKIP could go into the libertarian direction, possibly that could be something. But maybe we need a new party. Maybe, I don't know, like we've still got the Liberal Party out there. When the SDP and Liberals merged to make the Liberal Democrats, there were splinter groups. The SDP continued as a separate group, and also the Liberal Party continued as a separate group. And I believe both of those are not as kind of pro-EU as the Liberal Democrats. Maybe those are the parties we need to look at. Maybe the Libertarian Party UK, we need to really seriously look at them. I don't know, but something needs to happen. And for those who have got a media outlet and a platform and so on, we need to get back to basics to make clear arguments with regard to all of these tax and spend policies. We need to make clear philosophical, I think, arguments based on principle as to why it's not a good idea for the government to be so dominant in our lives, and so for us to be so dependent on taxation and these kinds of things. We need to make those cases clear. You know, we need to make clear cases for what we want to do with health service in this country. The NHS is dysfunctional, but what do we want to replace it with? These are the arguments that we definitely need to make, and yeah, I think that's the key. That's the key, really, that we've got over the next few years. And yeah, anyway, that's just my thoughts on this. What a day this has been. Theresa May and the Conservatives, absolutely horrendous. Well done to Labour. Well done to Jeremy Corbyn. But, you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot more shocks over the next the coming days, weeks and months. Maybe I'll be making another video in a couple of months about the next general election. Who knows? Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. See you later.